Alrighty. Welcome to the BNR Racing Network, as we are live here from Richmond. For the AMS Cup Series, I'm going to go over a little bit of the race information. See here, we are at Richmond, Virginia. 0.72 miles. Current track time's 104. Weather is 83 degrees out, 56% humidity, cloudy skies, and 6-mile-per-hour winds. So as we're under qualifying here, you see Mazzella currently on top, as Greg Elliott now goes to the top. As you see here, Brandon Moore is now out on track. And the 66 of Neckridge.
Yes, Brian, indeed. Good old Richmond Raceway here this evening. "90 laps estimated for fuel, and that is the fuel window. But drivers are estimated and will be projected to possibly be putting way before that. Tires could be the big key here this evening, as you well already know, Brian. You know, doing races earlier last week, right? So, yeah, Richmond. It can be a tire, just a tire grader, and it can be just a tire management track as well. It's a very rhythmic track. You got to have rhythm here. If you lose your rhythm, you're not. It's just not good. You got to really back up these corners. You can't really put a tire wrong. If you do, there are consequences here. I expect the cars to maybe be a bit twitchy, really twitchy on corner exit. Brian, Richmond seems to be a place where these cars can just have that death twitch. I'm really going to start to name that at some point, name it something. I've been thinking about the past couple of days what to name that type of twitch. Yeah, that too. You know, like we're just going to come up and finally, you know, pick a name for it, because it gets pretty violent, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still packing stuff up and...
All good there.
Alright, go over start the lineup.
Yes, sir.
P1 will be Greg Elliott, P2 will be Jonathan Mazzella, P3 will be Michael Cochran, P4 will be John Neckridge, P5 will be Josh Farmer, P6 will be John Tiller. P7 will be Keenan Miller. P8 would be Antonio Bonani. P9 would be Will Roberts. P10 would be Aaron Spear. P11 would be Nathan Line. P12 would be Michael Carter. P13 would be Adam Boughton. P14 would be Chris Stank. P15 would be Kevin Trzynski. P16 would be Gary Wells. P17 would be Daryl Johnson. P18 would be James Hudson. P19 would be Mike Robinson. P20 would be Clint Collins. P21 would be Brandon Moore. P22 would be Jason Taylor. P23 would be Sean O'Brien. P24 would be Chris Ostrander. P25 would be Avery. And P26 would be Brandon Hartwell. Hey, that name sounds familiar.
It does, doesn't it? Is it the same Hartwell from,
I think so.
Oh boy. Well, that's going to be a treat if it is indeed. You know, there's so many doppelgangers to one another. You never know if it is the same person or not. You know, that. Who knew that there could be so many people that shared the same name and just didn't know it, right? But yes, Richmond Raceway used to be the Richmond Fairgrounds. You know, it was a nice little. How big was it? Half mile.
It's a .73 mile.
Well, I know that, but I'm talking about like the old track, and then they done away with Richmond Fairgrounds, like without having to look at the Wikipedia and everything. You know, they did away with that. Neil Bonnet, if I'm not mistaken, won the last race at the Richmond Fairgrounds. Then they built this configuration of the track, and it has been this way ever since. Lights got put up in, what was it, 92, 93? I think it was 92 at Richmond. It might have been a little bit later. I think it was 93. I can always get my dates wrong. My apologies. Lights are still circulating, so not quite one and done on, you know, they get two now on the short tracks. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's see if they can have less cautions than what they had last week.
I do suspect it will be less. I don't think it's going to be as many as we saw last week. But I do suspect we will see a few cautions tonight, Brian, just because it's Richmond. We do have a 26-car field. And we have seen, you know, before in the past, it's easy to run over one another here at Richmond. Everybody has different braking and lifting points than one another. We cannot talk about that enough.
And the pace truck is off.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. So far, nice and easy going through the turns here. A little bit closer. Like we said, lift points are different. At least
caution.
here.
Caution. Give me your temps there, bud.
Already first caution of the evening. You know, see what happens here. Looks like staying on the outside, going into turn one. And I think he's going to get bumped, maybe? No. Okay, it's going to happen in front of Sting. 98 and 99, I think, made contact. That's going to send the 98 up the track. The 99 is going to go sideways coming out at the corner. I think they might have made contact. If not, it was awful close. And then nowhere for the 14 to go because the 99 just loses it on the apron. He gets the left front tire down on the apron, and the car just kind of pulls itself around after that. Brian, it's very easy for these cars to, kind of bottom out and everything, especially if you get onto the flat of an apron. It doesn't matter what track, it's almost a spin sentence, so to speak, instead of saying a death sentence. It's almost like a spin sentence. The car almost will normally come right around, give or take, the track. Most tracks, it's just going to shoot you up the lane, up the hill, so to speak.
Yep. It is very,
Looks like
very tricky. For sure. Especially this track. Very rhythmic. And once you're out of that rhythm, that's it. You're just in for a long ride, shall we say. The only difference is here tonight they don't have the two tire choices of what to use.
Yeah, it's basically just the spring race in a way.
Pretty much. Want to say the lights are off? Yes.
So early caution here, first caution. Lap 3, I believe it was, Brian? Right at lap 3, they had just took lap 3. So a quickie.
Might be coming to 4. Might be coming to 4.
Yeah, anywho, quickie caution here. Yeah, it's okay, Jaden. The title pretty much always says being our season opener on Twitch, but yeah, it's weird like that. I don't know. Green flag back out in the air. Greg Elliott, you're the leader, taking control of this race. He's got Josh Farmer falling in line in second place right there, and then it's on from right there behind him, so everybody going to be jockeying, get what all they can get, hopefully get into a rhythm and log some laps here, Brian. Long race, 200 laps.
Yep. I don't know why it says BNR. I change it every week, but I guess it is what it is. You see there, 38 with a bobble wheel. Oh, and there it goes.
Caution's out.
Oh, that's a huge crash. It's almost a small parking lot, Brian.
I seen that coming from a mile away.
So we're getting on board here with Robinson, who's just going to, I think, just completely get the corner wrong and just, I don't know, the car just goes away from him on corner entry. Like I said, he compromised his entry somehow or another, having that shallow entry arc in, right, Brian? And then the back end just popped away from him. The front end kind of started to slide away, and then the back end just was like, okay, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to do that. And
Brandon had a close one.
Almost like a Danny Kvyat moment that Robinson had there. He just going into the corner, and then just car gets away from him like a torpedo, so to speak, or like a stray bullet. You can see the car just twitches away from him, and then all of a sudden he goes to correct it, but he just launches himself into who did he launch into? Stang and was it Stang and someone else, right?
Yeah, the 96 and the 17.
Oh, okay, my bad.
There was a lot of them. Stank, KT, Brandon Moore, Robinson, Wells, Spear. Quite a few.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Kevin was the first caution, so I mean, that depending on how much damage he had from the first caution, if he had already used his one quick repair here, quick fix in the AMS Cup Series that everybody is granted, but man, that's going to be a tough one for some of these competitors as well, You
got to back your turns up. You just absolutely cannot full send into the turns. It's not going to work. You got to let those tires build up the heat. So pace yourself. Quit trying to be Hercules and get to the front. Just ride it out. So they will
you cannot
green here.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. You cannot try to overdrive the equipment that this car gives you. You have to be smooth with it. You have to be accurate with your inputs. You cannot be erratic, so to speak. Green flag back out and in the air. A lot of wheel slippage that you might get to see depending, how many tire cycles that these drivers will have and just when they decide to jump back on that throttle in these restarts. So Richmond is one of the keen places to just easily slip your tires out of all the tracks you may tend to go to. Oh man!
You also got a lot coming out of 2 because you will get tight and plow up. You see Brandon Moore working that bottom lane down there. He said, "All right, I'm getting to the front. I'm not hanging out back here anymore." Adam Bolton there in the 10th position, right there behind Nathan Line. So 2 cars
and it's
back
pretty much stalled. We got a slider. Is he going to save it? That was Wells sliding forever. I guess he did save it. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what became of it, but.
Yeah, he's
trying to find it. Okay. Oh, we got another slider, but he saves it too. That was the 94 of Botten, I do believe. Who I was just about to say we were pretty much single file all the way back to about 11th position, and then Botten wanted to have his slider-rooney, not quite a spinner-rooney, but yeah, there's a big gaggle. From Miller on back, that is what is that, 14th on down. There's a big gaggle. It's almost like a town hall meeting back there.
14th all the way back to 25th.
I mean, you would have thought since it's the last lap and they're battling for a top 5, but single file all the way back.
Eventually take somebody out.
Right.
That's going to be interesting to find out on Tuesday.
I couldn't Man,
It was pretty interesting because they
a
released the
double bump and
audio.
run.
They released the audio from the 3 car. After he got into Logano, his spotter came on and said, "Move down, wreck him, wreck him." And then, so it's gonna be interesting to see how all that plays out. But he should have just. I don't know. It was a very good race, but just like that whole I gotta itch my arm ordeal. Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond
it,
always causes controversy.
Or was it Mike?
Yes, it was.
No,
it was Clint Boyer, Michael Waltrip. Yes. So between North Wilkesboro and Richmond, these two tracks, they're great racing tracks. Like you could pull up almost any televised or pre-recorded race from those two racetracks, and they're pretty much, I don't want to say spot on the same type of race, but it's going to be a very similar race. Oh man, Avery almost just slapped that wall on corner exit there.
But it's Richmond. You know all the controversy that goes in with Richmond. I noticed the stands wasn't too packed. But our virtual stands are booming.
So 25 laps in, and 2 cautions. On our top 10 currently: Greg Elliott, Michael Cochran, Josh Farmer, Jonathan Mazzella, John Tiller, Will Roberts, Nick Rich in the 66 car, Antonio Bonini, Brandon Moore, and Nathan Lyon. That is the top 10 currently, not necessarily in that order as I just spoke, because it can be ever changing. Give you that ABC Ken Swire or CBS Ken Swire rundown.
Like I said, Richmond's tough. Quick upshift, quick down. You can ride attitude in 4th gear, but it's tricky. It's all about if you have the draft or not. And you can just get extremely loose like we saw the 11 did.
Who was it? Brandon Moore at one time. He ran a race here. What was it? Just in 4th gear all the way around. Like he dominated that thing, but obviously different conditions, different field, all those other things, factor and blend into kind of running a different type of strategy and maybe shifting more this race than what he was in a different league or in a different, say, track setting, so to speak. Track conditions. But yeah, like you said, Brian, like a lot of different, you got to be downshifting, upshifting nowadays. You have to, maybe let the car roll a whole lot more than what you used to could.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if it's not like I said, if it's not North Wilkesboro, it's Richmond creating some type of controversy because North Wilkesboro, it was the one race where they didn't know who won the race. They didn't know if Dale Earnhardt won. They didn't know if Dale Waltrip won. They didn't know if Ricky Rudd won. They didn't know who the heck won. Jeff Bodine, they thought 4 different people won the race because they had a scoring problem. Richmond, there's so many different things throughout the years that has happened at Richmond.
Oh, there's been a lot.
Like Brian alluded to, the Michael Waltrip Racing controversy with Clint Boyer trying to get, Mark Truex Jr. secured into the chase or the playoffs the one year. I guess now here most recently, with what happened yesterday, which I thought from a NASCAR purist standpoint, these cars have fenders, they have bumpers, short track mentality, and you're racing in a short track. It's almost like, you've seen hundreds of bump and runs before, but you've never seen a double bump and run. I don't care if he just came down and tank slapped into the guy and made him go into the wall. Like, however he did it. He won the race. Austin Dillon qualified 6th. He had a top 5 car all night. He was one of the fastest cars in practice the day before. It's not like he was not there just all of a sudden, right? Like Daniel Suarez was. One part of the race, like Daniel came from, what was it, like 32nd, 20? Oh, caution is out.
Did you happen to get a look at your test on track?
I'm a fan of it. The 89 who just came out the pits, this is cold tires maybe, and just getting into the corner, cold tires, and the car just snaps away from him as if he had just entered an oil slick or a piece of ice. And man, oh man, that's a tough break. Here's the 11. What happens to the 11? So we have 2 different incidences basically, maybe bringing out the caution simultaneously. Oh, the 11 just has that twitch coming out of turn number 2. So like I said earlier, turn number 2 could be a tricky part of the track. Entering turn number 1 obviously has been a tricky part of the track as well. So my opinion, though, like I said, racing purist standpoint, as a historian and all that, we've seen people use the bumper from the dawn of time with, if you had bumpers, fenders on your car. Even people like certain IndyCar drivers and Formula One car drivers, won't name any names, but if you know who I'm talking about, they have played dirty before to try to win races or championships. Plenty of drivers that we could think of off the top of our head without naming names, right? So everybody wants to say, oh, well, Dale did it all the time. Yeah, Dale did it all the time because that's basically, that was his brand. Like, hey, I got to bump you out of my way if necessary. I got to put food on my table. That was his whole stick type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But
just give me one quick second, real quick.
10-4. I could still rant while Brian goes away. I mean, it could be wrong of me in saying, oh, blah, 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 because of how unsafe these, next gen or Gen 7 cars have been, as far as, Kurt Busch career-ending crash at Pocono during qualifying, Alex Bowman getting a concussion, other drivers getting concussion-like symptoms or being concussed. It's not good, but at the same time, that's what you sign up for. That's the risk you take. When you see the white flag and you're in contention to win a race, and when I was an amateur sim racing driver, I never wanted anyone to be able to get to me, because if I knew, I didn't care who it was, behind me, if I knew they had the chance to get to me, I always thought in the back of my mind, oh, well, they're too close. They have a chance. They could just come into this next corner, the final corner, just wipe me out. And I'm guilty of it too. I believe at some point everybody does it. Everybody does it. and I'm sure Kyle, if you're still listening, if you're still here with me while I'm ranting about this subject at the moment still, you will testify or at least agree with me that, yeah, Will, at some point everybody does it, because you're the person I know for sure that has seen it as well. So, I mean, it's crazy that things happen like they do, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been Daytona or Talladega, Michigan, a higher speed track, and somebody go over the catch fence, so to speak, or it could have been worse, but it wasn't. It was Richmond or North Wilkesboro, or it could have been Bristol, right? Like it was at a short track, right? But I get it. It was still a green flag back out in the air. As I guess the Rams has done at the moment. It was still, good impact for Denny Hamlin, but like I said, that's what these drivers sign up for. And in my opinion, you can't have double standards. You can't be like, oh, it's okay for me to do it, but no, you can't do it to me, right? And there's too much of that. But back here, AMS Cup Series, Richmond Raceway. Greg Elliott in control of this race, and we are. Oh, you're good. I'm done with my rant about yesterday and how
the race?
Yeah. It's okay. You didn't have to sit through it. We are almost a quarter of the way through this race, closing in on 50 laps in. 4 cautions if I'm. Yes, sir. Oh, Nathan, you get back out there on that outside lane, because you can't diamond the inside lane properly. I hate to say that to you. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but goodness gracious. Oh, Stang. Ooh, if it's not one of the, I can't remember their name to save my life, but Fueled Up Motorsports. There we go. Oh, heck yeah, Brian, helping me remember that. Didn't even mean to say, HLE, double hockey sticks, but it happens. It's almost like having Tourette's. You just spill out words, right? So, I do not have Tourette's, but I heard Michael J. Fox tonight. I'm just kidding. Great actor. He's got Parkinson's. Anywho, Nathan's hot dog stand is not open still. He's thinking about opening it, but he went for a nice slide into home, but luckily home was not available. He got a good look though at the RV lot on the back straightaway, seeing if he could find one for. Oh my goodness! So we had 3 cars there simultaneously pulling Nathan's hot dog. And that was Cochran, Bonini, and Neckridge. There we go.
Yeah. Brandon's caught on the outside lane, which can be brutal. But we know Brandon's very good at maneuvering his racecraft of any kind that he is in.
Yeah, like I was talking about earlier, like maybe moving, like you were just talking about moving lines of the track, like turns 3 and 4, he was up a lane, 1 and 2, he's on the bottom. So you might have to do that, with these cars. You can't find speed in one lane, you gotta just move around.
That you do.
Neckridge's going to get a good run on Roberts here, and he kind of had a look-see, but nothing came of it, unfortunately.
Nope. He tried, though. Robert's doing a good job with that arc into the turns, where you see some other drivers that struggle to do that, as we have a race to the lead here.
Now a change for the lead. Josh Farmer taking the lead away from Greg Elliott, but Greg Elliott going to look to the inside of Josh now, going into turn number 3. And got to be careful. They have the Sinclair Dinosaur of Michael Cochran just lurking in third position. And Will Roberts, he's going to take a look to the inside of Michael, but nothing came of that one, so...
Nope.
A little bit further back, I think Roberts might have had a moment coming out of turn number 2, losing some ground now.
And just as we saw there, Will, how Farmer kept him in 4th gear coming off of turns 2, all the way down that short backstretch there, heading into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, he let it rev out. He let it chip out, so... It might have been 5th gear that Brandon was keeping it in that Richmond race a couple of months ago. It's hard to remember. It was either 4th or 5th.
But I mean, if you're out in the front, you can do that. Like if you're running about mid-pack, like roughly about right here, right where B Moore is at, it's going to be kind of hard to keep it in that 4th gear, because that's where a lot of people stay in.
Yeah, because even on, short tracks, you still encounter that dirty air. You're going to have that dirty wash. It's going to be difficult, to keep it in that 5th gear. Like he talked about, you're going to need a little bit of momentum, maybe, swing it down into 4th, let the car get some rotation to it. Because RPMs, the different RPM. Oh, Michael having a moment out of turn number 2, the last lap prior. He losing a lot of positions. Now back here being under pressure by Brandon. So he was able to fall in. Oh, 5th caution of the evening. Happening at lap 61? 62, thank you. My apologies. So lap 62. Oh, it says 4th caution. My bad. Oh, just a little bit too close for comfort. 96 and 14 get together. And then Kevin, unfortunately, just comes in and says hello, and then almost looks very similar to Ryan Priest and Vicky Reckhouse, eh? I did it again.
Yep. You see there, Farmer's the only one that comes down to pits with O'Brien and Cochran, and then Taylor, and a few others. And no, Kyle, I am about 2 hours from Richmond, so it'll be pretty hard to see my house from here.
Well, let's pull up Greg Elliott into the booth real quick.
Where is my thing there? Right there. That I cannot do. I don't have that option to move.
10-4.
So as much as we would like to, unfortunately we can't.
So yes, indeed, transitional race here. We started late afternoon, early evening, and then I will drive looking to be into the nighttime hours. So, love the transitional races.
Oh yeah. They are always fun to watch.
So the top 5 on the restart will be Elliott, Neckridge, Mazzella, Tiller, and Roberts. Then Moore, Bonini, Miller, Carter, and McDonald rounds out the top 10 for this next restart that we will get at probably lap 67.
No.
No?
I'll say 68.
Okay, 68. My apologies. Lights are still on that pace truck, so. Yep, yes indeed. It'll probably be 68, maybe 69, maybe just restart at 69. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, probably 68. Because now looks like lappers or people further back, maybe coming back down, parents more, or doing whatever they need to do. Robinson, Boughton out of the race currently. Hartwell, I don't think was able to spawn in. I mean, load it, grid. Oil pan leak on that car. Immediately had to load it back up on the hauler.
He had a Martin Truex moment, I guess. Motor probably blew before you even started.
Right.
Green flag.
And we got the green flag back out here. Greg Elliott with a great start.
Yeah, another terrific I feel like Richmond, though, is another racetrack that really gives benefits the race leader on the restarts, unless you're Denny Hamlin or Joey Logano. Then you can get away with, jumping restarts. But who am I to say? I'm just a fan. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we have Hudson, I believe. Hudson went RV shopping. I believe that was Jimmy. That's very unfortunate. I really was digging the paint scheme. Looked like a Miller Lite on a Brad Keselowski kind of modern take, I used to like beer. Stone Cold, impersonation there. All right, cool. Sinclair back on the move, trying to be. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're out. So. And good tight battle there between Wells and, Cochran's. Oh, okay. I got tripped up for a second. I was like, where'd he go? He's not on the scoring pylon, but then he was. Just tripping me up. So, 9th, 10th, 11th. Oh, who's in the wall? Oh, that's not good.
17.
That would be Wells. So, Wells having a moment. He's losing a ton of ground. It's unfortunate for Wells. Brandon just can't seem to be able to get out of that top, well, around that bottom 10, top 10. Oh, he just had a bad turn 3, just overdrove turn 3 and up into Miller, down low. He's got problems with Sean O'Brien Jr. Oh, man, almost clipping Keenan. And now Keenan and Sean gonna kind of lay on one another, but oh my goodness, Brandon's still having problems.
That he is. He's just caught in the sucker hole at the moment.
Oh, and Avery and Stang. Avery trying to not find the hot dog stand at a turn number 2, trying to swerve back down the track, and there was Stang. So I think Brandon immediately just put it in the pits or something, or he's like, I'm just gonna park it. That's just pure speculation at the moment. Not sure if he's going to get back out there.
He is. Brandon.
Okay, my 10-4, 10-4.
You're good.
All right.
With a short track like this, it's a wee bit silly.
Yeah, he was having a vile moment. Been already caught up in a wreck or two. You know, you never can tell. That would have been enough for me to just been like, all right, this has been a chaotic night. Enough. Yep, just gonna park it. The struggle is real sometimes. Elliott, Mazzella, Neckridge, Roberts, Farmer. That's the top 5. Cochran trying to lay it down on Farmer, but Farmer trying to drive back up to Elliott. As my goodness, this is just ever so just fierce battling back here outside, or just down the running order, I should say, not necessarily outside the top 10, but inside the top 10. Stang and Jason Taylor up there, they're going at it. And that's going to allow Sean O'Brien to fill a hole and... Oh!
Somewhere. Caution.
Man. He had a caution because everybody could kind of maybe take a breather because they were trying to wreck for a while. Man. So Sean just fills a hole, but then Stang was still there. I guess Sean maybe didn't like that. I don't know really what else to say but that. But man, oh man.
Look at the brake lights of that 98, boy. Glow.
Yeah, he was just trying not to become Gravedigger, I guess. Well, this will help out B more. Maybe get back on the lead lap, or Brandon Hartwell says no sound. Oh no.
On where? Because everything's showing up on my end. That there's sound.
Yes, on where, like YouTube, like on your phone, like what, Brandon? Like
you on Twitch or YouTube, Will?
I'm on Twitch.
Is there sound?
You know, let me check here. Oh, yep, there's my annoying voice. Indeed, I hear sound. I had to. Check here.
Go yeah, I got sound on YouTube too as well.
So maybe Brandon turned the volume up on the phone or whatever device you could be. Maybe that's a. I don't want to say that's a you problem, but it could be a you problem. Fifth caution this evening. Now Taylor currently leading this race with Sean O'Brien Jr. in second, Kevin in third, Johnson in the 14 car in fourth position. But Kevin pits. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Greg Elliott going to cycle up into fourth position. Mazzella will round out fifth position once they get by Kevin. Yes, Brandon, why weren't you able to grid? I guess if he has no sound, he's not going to be able to hear me there. Anyway. Oh, that map is still like lingering and still flustering, because I just keep repeating a lot of the same words, and it's like
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
So
I'm focused. I'm just repeating.
So
I will slap you.
I think we kind of have a big old update coming in at the end of the season, which is in 3 weeks. So, which would probably get us into September, which is roughly around what they said. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I'm ready. So,
Green flag.
got it. Sorry, phone sucks. Good luck, y'all. Said now just didn't want to run 3 nights in a row this week. That happens, man. Sometimes 2 nights in a row is brutal. Just wear and tear on you, and especially this track. I mean, happens. I would have liked to see what you could have done out here. I don't know.
Yeah, we know Brandon's Hartwell. Yes, Hartwell is a quick fella. Like he is a very, Oh yeah, would have been great to see you out here tonight, Brandon. But yes, I know the pain of racing at least every night of the week. Like it can be a killer. Like it can be excruciating. Like, hey, I just want to take a night off or just want to relax my bones, right? Like I get it. Brian gets it. We all do, bud. Like good to see you out here also in the chat, talking to us, hanging out. Would have, like I said, maybe next week, you could come back out here, give it another try.
Yeah.
Man, 3 wide.
Well, they were doing that real life.
Yeah, I was so amazed by the racing, and like, there was hardly no wrecks yesterday. Like, I couldn't get over it. Like, right? Like, and, well, that's normally how it goes when they're, yeah, I mean, yeah, just.
Oh, Bonani. Good save.
Randy Orton came out of nowhere and struck Bonani and Martin Truex Jr.
Yes.
I mean, that car just started to twitch away. Like it slowly, it's almost as if he had a little bit too much wheel in it. Just started to just slowly come around.
I gotta wait for
Miller.
Sim chip to get here. I got my iPhone sitting here waiting to be programmed.
Okay. Like,
to be honest, I hate racing these cars. Glitchy with the steering. Could die like one if you ain't careful, but challenging is fun. So I'm torn. Yeah, it's a lot of people overcorrect, and the easiest way to do that is to click off the bottom. So, A lot of these guys just keep their foot in the throttle. Not not these guys in here, just in general. When we go into the official races, they just keep their foot in the throttle and try to overcorrect it. The easiest way that me and my fellow league member figured out: hit the brakes and then just hit the direction of the car. It'll put your car back straight. So I'm starting to like these cars. I like them better with a setup. I don't like them fixed.
What do you expect from a car that was computer generated on a sim and then built in the real world? You expect it to be a bit. I mean, I would expect it to be a bit of a handful to drive, like a monster, like a menace. Like I would be. I feel like I would be afraid to drive one of these cars. Like, you know, like you would have that in the back of your mind, like a bit fearful, right? But in a way, like I almost feel like that's how you should be if you're a racer. Like you should be a bit fearful of the car you're trying to manhandle or control, right? Right. Back in the day, you know, Derek Bell and Jackie Ickx and all those great sports car and F1 drivers from back in the day, John Watson, you know, like they always knew in the back of their mind, like, you know, whatever they were driving, like, always had way more horsepower than it should have, right? Like, stupid amount of horsepower and torque, and, you know, like, anything, you know, you could just, at a moment's notice, you could just end up, bam, like, just gone. And that's kind of how it is even still to this day. Like, halfway through with this race, just hit the halfway point. Greg Elliott in control of this race. He is our pole sitter. Josh Farmer's been a bit of a challenge for him, but Farmer's been having to claw his way back up through the field. Taylor sitting there in second place.
Taylor had a bobble.
Oh, yes, he did. Taylor had a big bobble. It's a big battle now for third position, as Farmer and Mazzella has gotten by, and fourth position. My bad. Big old crackling for fourth position. So. So you got three teammates there battling for fourth, fifth, and sixth position. Or excuse me, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Every time I want to call a position, it's always going to be the wrong position, apparently. That's okay. It happens.
Absolutely does, well. Anyway, we can do our wonderful
Robertson, yes, sir. 10 pullers.
So,
crank it up.
Yeah, we're going to do our crank it up section. If you comment in the chat, we'll get back to it whenever we come back. So we're going to give you the awesome sounds of these next gen cars. Hope you enjoy it.
much, Jim.
Oh, and we have another caution this evening. Sixth time? Ooh. Nathan just gets kind of punterinoed. Just gets 96 goes in there. Nathan kind of misses the corner a little bit, and then 96, I guess, saw a window of opportunity to jump through, and he had a Senna moment. You know, he saw a gap, and he went for it, and he took it, but unfortunately, it was not a big enough gap. Even after Nathan had his mistake there and popped up off the bottom. Wasn't going to work in a month of Sundays. And we have another caution. So, will this be the final pit stop for everybody, Brian?
I don't know. I want to say yes. But then, what do we know?
Greg Elliott will win the race off pit road, followed by Jonathan and Josh. All of a sudden I can't say his last name right. Cochran, Neckridge, Tiller, O'Brien, Miller, Roberts, fellow doppelganger, and Antonio Bonini, or Bonani, however you. It's probably Bonani. Sounds better when you say. Yeah, it sounds better when he's just probably over there, just wanting to just probably just throw us off a roof or something, right? Just the old Russian way, you know.
Yeah.
How'd he die? Oh, he was, he accidentally slipped off a roof. You know, he fell out of a balcony. He fell out of a window. Every time I hear that, it's like, what? How does someone just
mistakenly fall out of a window?
It's like they went down the slip and slide the wrong way, Brian. Like, how do you do that? Like, obviously, I know how you go down the slip and slide the wrong way. I've done that. But, like, how do you just accidentally, the one thing that's always tripped my mind for so many years after I learned it was Eric Clapton's son, falling out of his apartment skyscraper in New York. Like, how does that? Like, he was what, like 4 or 5 years old or something? Like, and he just, man, that's where the Teardrops from Heaven, or what is that?
Yeah.
That song? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew I was going to get the title wrong, but you knew where I was going. But like, how? Man, I can take a deep dark turn, can't I? Anyway, so
we got an interesting 2 Monday weeks. Next week they go to Michigan, and then a week after that they go to Daytona.
So yeah, 2 super speedways basically back to back. Love to see it. So 75 laps, give or take, to finish this one off, Brian. Is it going to be the pole sitter, basically the dominant car of the evening, or is he going to have to really fend off everybody with a stick? Let's find out as we go back. Green flag racing here. Greg waited as long as he could to go in that box. Excuse me. Oh my, where did that one come from? Couldn't get the mic off in time, so just had to sit through it sometimes, I guess. Anywho, so as you see, everybody, like I love to say, jockeying for position on this restart. As Greg Elliott is trying to scamper away now to another lead. Oh, and Nathan Catch it, Nathan. There we go. Nathan caught his slide. So did Avery McDonald. So now Willie having a moment out of turn number 4. It's okay. He's a fellow Will. I can call him that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. He literally sounds as enthusiastic each and every week, just as I would going into each and every league race. I love it. Like, I swear he could. We have to be related, and we just don't know. That's got to be my twin brother that my mother never told me about, and she gave up for adoption. I swear. Like I said, I could take some terrible turns here. I should really try stand up, Brian. I've been told, hey, you should try stand up, but I feel like it's just people telling me what I want to hear. I don't think it's good,
Yes. Hey, stand up is never bad. It depends on the audience that you draw in to get to where you need to be. I've been told plenty of times that I should do it. I just don't want to. What do I care?
Yeah, you'd be like a New Jersey / North Carolinian, however you say that, version of Larry the Cable Guy. Like,
yeah, oh Larry.
A lot of green. Is it just me, or is there a lot of green cars in the race?
There is. Quite a few.
It's about normal. Brandon's in the green amp car. I feel like there was a couple of more green cars. Oh, well, Greg's in a monster car. I guess that's green. Thank you, Joshua. Good to see you out. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, well, Brian, everybody says, you can never hear Brian. It's... I don't know, man. Brian's...
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Everybody says it. I think it's when I go from the Xbox to the Discord. Maybe the settings end up going off. I don't know. It could be. But it's nice to see you, Josh.
Yes, and thanks for the update about your mother.
Yes. Prayers are always in your hands for the Medlock family. As they get a speedy recovery on his mom. Wish him that family the best of luck, and keep their prayers in their arms. So.
Closing in on 60 laps to go.
It's like I gotta holler for people to hear me. I don't know what it is. It's probably just his headset. I probably gotta get another one. Because I go from Xbox to PC with it, constantly unplugging it back in.
I think it just could be like the stream audio settings, maybe from your input of your audio settings, maybe of like what gets picked up from your end, not necessarily what the third party or like the double party, say being in having a chat. Anyway, I'm terrible.
Absolutely, Medlock. I know what you're going through. I've been through it with both my grandparents and actually all three of them. It's rough, but like I said, prayers are always out there for you and your family. So just keep your head up high and do your best, man. It's rough.
Hasn't your dad had open heart surgery too?
My dad? No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Not yet, but But
Yeah, I know my, I can't, my, my quote-unquote, father had open heart surgery. Can't call him what I want to call him. Anyway,
yeah, we're
so
just gonna leave it as that.
yeah, my bad. Oh,
Nelly!
JT having a hard impact to that inside retaining
man.
wall.
No caution, Will. We're still green.
No
Perfect.
caution. Still green. He's rolling it. Oh, he missed the pit lane. I don't think. Was he trying to get it into the pits?
Probably
was he not able to
He
turn?
might have broke that left front.
Yeah, toe link.
Yeah. Yeah. Once
Or
that
tie
broke,
rod.
that's it. Hopefully he's got a quick fix. So.
JT, wasn't JT caught up in one of the earlier wrecks of the evening?
I don't think so. He might have though. I guess we'll find out whenever.
I thought he did. I thought.
Pulls down the pits. I guess we'll see.
Man, didn't expect that from Jason.
Bonani. Well, as we saw there, Bonani had a little loosey-goosey there, but Brandon now is sniffing up the tailpipe of that 35.
Yeah, Brandon back inside the top 10. I got what you meant. You could have said trunk lid. You could have said back bumper. You could have, but you chose tailpipe. You know, it's okay, Brian. These are not production cars by no means, but
exactly.
It's okay. It sounded good. It really did. Like coming up the tailpipe says Brandon Moore.
But now Brandon Moore's got Trozinski now.
Who?
Trozinski, KT.
Kevin. Yes.
Right there with him. I'm not used to Brandon struggling here. I don't know what's going on with old B. Unless he's
having a rough day.
He is.
He's having a rough night. It's an off Brandon night. This is not a normal Brandon Moore night. Closing in on 50 laps to go. If not, we're already there. Sometimes,
nope.
We're
coming to 149.
Okay, 10 for one more to go, and we'll be with 50 laps remaining. So, Greg Elliott still in the lead. He's almost got a second over the field, and as far as second place, Jonathan Mozella. He does have 2 seconds over Josh Farmer at this moment in time. Michael Cochran in the Sinclair Dinosaur driven machine, 4th position. Sean O'Brien Jr. 5th. Neckridge in 6th position. So Tiller 7th. Keenan Miller 8th. Bonini is in 9th, and Brandon Moore. So that is actually a 3-car. That's a 3-car battle. 8th, 9th, and 10th, and 11th. So 4-car battle. My apologies. Right here on your screen now live. Well, it has been for the last handful of laps. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I gotta be careful how I move that right arm. It just rubs to. Gotta be careful. I feel like I pulled a ligament or something in it, but it's okay. It'll be all right.
Every little thing.
It's gonna be all right.
Antonio.
Miller with a big moment as Antonio had a moment as a. Oh no, Nathan Line and Jimmy Hudson involved in this one. That is turn number 2. Looks like Nathan's going to just lose it, I'm assuming. Yep.
Oh, James, poor James.
I thought he was going to lose it.
It looked like
Oh,
it.
yeah, he's going to... Yeah, he dips his tire. Just like I was talking about earlier, what happened with Kevin to bring out the first caution of the evening way back on lap 4, lap 3, lap 3. Oh, just nowhere to go for poor Jimmy. He was trying to cut down away, but just couldn't get away. So
well,
now
looks
we
like
will...
everybody's going to come down in the pits again.
Not everybody. I believe we had one or two drivers maybe possibly staying out here.
Miller is.
Pulling some type... Okay, Keenan staying out, pulling some type of strategy. Other besides that, everybody else is either a lap down or getting a lucky dog. So, yeah, bold strategy by Miller, but I think he may pit again here. I think he just maybe trying to get a point for leading a lap per se. I don't know. We're gonna
the lead car in the first pit box, boy. You get that, giddy up and go.
Yeah, that's a true advantage.
Well, not only that, and it's also how you get in your stall, and if you hit it right, as we always say before, capitalization.
Yes, you got to hit your marks.
Yep, getting into the pit stall and then not sliding past your sign. So.
Yeah, as old Bill Engvall used to say, here's your sign.
Old Bill Engvall.
We got two more left to name. If we can get them named, if we can come up with some type of reference, we got two more left.
Yeah, what's your digits?
What?
What's your digit?
Oh, that's not Ron White, is it?
No, I think that's Jeff Foxworthy.
What's your digit?
What's your digit?
I've never heard him. That must be a joke. I haven't heard him say. That must be.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Oh.
I'll get it.
Oh no, it is. It's one of the redneck words. Do you know my aunt? He did like a country album of like him singing a bunch of. Yeah, like she had one of his albums of him like doing all these weird songs and stuff, and like one of them is like the last thing is like him doing like a stand-up piece of like all those like you might be a redneck jokes and stuff. Like, oh man, I thought that was the best thing whenever I was a kid. Man, that's terrible.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to them. I know Ron White kind of still does it, but Larry, I think Larry's a hit or miss. It just all depends on whatever he's doing over there in Nebraska.
He was a radio DJ. Like that's a fake voice. It's all a fake persona too. Like, man.
Well, he sure as hell does a good job with it.
Yes, he sure as heck does, Brian. It's okay. Hell's in the Bible. I'm just messing with you. Ass is also in the Bible.
Yeah. So is a banana.
What am I going to do with you? Anyway, so 40 laps going to be remaining.
Green flag.
41, give or take. Yes, green flag back out in the air. And the bailing into turn one. Okay,
yes.
We're not going to...
I was waiting for it. Oh, boy.
What a good save by Elliott. Elliott now finally having some dirty air. Oh, argy-bargy moment. Oh, man. He got rid of Farmer. Still no caution. No caution. No caution. Oh, man. Really got the arms and elbows out and maybe a ninja star or two. was like waka, and they were kung fu fighting, per se, perhaps. Like using medium to big size words that I can't get out. Oh, Robert's having a moment up in the marbles, and they're going to be 3 wide. No, they're not. They thought they were, but Brandon, yeah. I bet you every time if Brandon Hartwell's still here, every time we say his name and it's not actually him, he's still going to look up at the screen.
Now, Will, the question.
Brandon. Yes, we were just in sync. I tell you what.
Will.
Call us. Right now, I can't think of any members of NSYNC, so I guess that's a good thing. Anyway, Timberlake. I guess that's the only one I can think of. It's not really good because he's too many. He is not a good influence. Okay, too many. Do not want to be like him. Okay, too many DUIs. Terrible.
Look at Miller now getting shuffled on out of there.
Oh, yes, he is indeed. That is the productivity of just old tires, Brian.
Yeah.
Miller also maybe not having a set left. That could be why he decided not to pit. Bold strategy, like I said.
I know Farmer ain't happy. I'll tell you that right now, he ain't. We know Farmer pretty good.
Well, I don't think you could be in that scenario. You know, you've been up here in the top 5, top 7 all night battling. Especially at one point, you know, you had taken the lead away from Elliott, and then trying to basically maybe get around Elliott, and that way you could go ahead and just, you know, take the lead away from whoever was controlling the race at this point. But then, like I said, they started kung fu fighting.
Elliott. Every time I hear that, I think of E.T.
Kung fu fighting, like, and they were kung fu fight, like that makes you think of E.T.
Oh, Elliott.
Oh, Elliott. Oh my goodness. Man, how many times did you like get done watching E.T. and then instantly rewind it whenever you were a child, Ryan?
I used to watch it all the time, just like Beetlejuice.
See, I was more of a Star Wars, like original trilogy box set type of nerd. I'd get home from school, or even during the summer after my grandmother would get through watching her soap operas, I'd be like, "Can I put Star Wars in now?" I would not want to watch Law and Order.
Me and Dad
like
and his father would always watch Star Wars. The old ones.
Either that or like maybe something. Like, I had Air Force One as a child, like with Harrison Ford. Like,
well, I'd also watch. My grandfather was big into all those westerns. Like Eastwood and
Fistful of Dollars. You got a favorite John Wayne movie?
He did.
Okay, you don't?
I really didn't know any of his movies. I would just sit there and watch it.
Just sit there.
A lot of them were good. I just really, you know. Who's that in front of me? Oh, that's Hudson. I think. It could be. Yes, that's Hudson out there. Going another lap down.
If you ever get a chance, find the man who shot Liberty Valance. Great movie, Brian. You might be able to find it in color. It's probably mainly going to be in black and white, just like the Sands of Iwo Jima, like it, Sands of Iwo. It's hard to find that one in color. Anywho, but the one that I'm talking about, it's got Lee Marvin, it's got Jimmy Stewart, you know, obviously John Wayne, it's got trying to think of this one old-timey type of black actor, like if you saw him, like you would be like, oh yeah, he played on a bunch of other stuff too. But anyway, yeah, go watch that one. That's like one of my. That's probably going to be like my Stagecoach, probably second favorite John Wayne movie, and like I don't know, like Rio Bravo, Rio Lobo, you know, those are probably other favorite John Wayne movies of mine. I think if I had to pick like 4 or 5 that I just named off right there, like I like the Green Berets.
25 laps to go, Will.
Indeed, 25 laps to go. Enough John Wayne talk.
Now I
And
don't mind
Mazzella.
John Wayne. I like I said, my grandfather just started getting me into John Wayne right before, you know, he ended up passing away.
Mhm.
I would sit out there with him, and yeah, that's all he liked. So we'll go out there and watch all the westerns. A lot of them were good, but I think Gone with
Yeah,
the
we got a
Wind-
cat named Cheyenne.
Oh, no, we're not
and
even going to
it's-
talk about that.
Oh, yeah, well, she's named after the Western TV show, like, you know, Cheyenne.
Oh,
With Clint Walker, you know, as the person who played Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
No, Clint Walker was the grandfather of Paul Walker.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well-
connections. More useless facts that people don't need.
Tiller ever having a good run here. He's been hanging out in the top 10 majority of the night.
Yes, sir.
His teammates not really so much. Lyons had a rough go. Brandon, kinda. Stang really did. Stang's been in the pit for quite some time. Maybe he's out there spotting Tiller or his other teammates.
Once Elliott got in the dirty air, he has been trying to dig, crawl, and like everything else that he can to just get back to the lead. But like I said, most dominant car of the evening, but just being kind of just now just stabilized, just stuck now in that dirty air, can't really do anything. He's just kind of, for the most part, looks like he's just kind of trapped there. Unless, oh! Man, okay, well, so Johnson gonna get it going back straight again. No caution looks like gonna come of this. So Mazzella and O'Brien gonna get racing here.
Boy, his
19,
brakes are blown. How's
18. Yeah, no, I just need to stop talking about how many laps there is left. Just wait till the at least white flag. Just,
O'Brien. But I see Cochran here, Will, now trying to make his move on Elliott.
See, I was never really a big ET fan. Excuse me. I saw it like once or twice, and I was like, I got over it. You know.
Oh, Lucy Goosey, whoever that was. Line. Gonna stall out Mr. Elliott here. As that'll give Michael a run to the inside of the 8 as they're going to try to make it 3 wide here going through turns 1 and 2. As Elliott hits the wall, but
Oh, Cochran going to sling it down to the inside. Going into turn 3, they're rubbing through 4. Cochran trying to slide up in front of Elliott. Now Elliott going to look back to the inside of Cochran. In 1 and 2. Cochran going to have the drive off of corner number 2 as Nathan keeps trying to find the hot dog stand. I know, I'm terrible with the puns tonight. But nevertheless, look at the battle for the lead. It has started to just cook up as they had put a lap back over Johnson. Mazzella and Sean O'Brien here. They have a lap car in between them and the next closest competitor of the Sinclair-driven Michael Cochran machine. So,
but Sean O'Brien is right there, Will. But I think Mazzella gets a better run off of 1 and 2.
there's no O in his name.
What's that? There.
Oh my gosh.
Mazzella.
I mean, he said it sounds like a pasta, does it not? Like his name sounds like something Garfield's gonna eat.
Mazzella.
And it sounds like some like expensive like
Pasta. Or something.
Yeah. That could just me being a bit hungry for the evening.
You see here, Cochran's going to go underneath the 14, and Greg.
Oh, contact made!
Any comments?
Neckrich gets in to Greg Elliott coming out of turn number 4. All Clint Boyer style is just almost. But here we will have the replay. You rewinded it a bit, or slow-moded a bit too early, but that's yeah. There we go. Fast forward. Oh, man, we're getting okay now to the nitty-gritty. As Cochran trying to pass Johnson to the inside a little bit further up, but then, look at that run that, what's his name? What is his name? Neckrich gets, and just in the center of the corner, just punts Elliott out of the groove and is like, wah-ha, take that, I guess, and,
almost
caution
KD.
here. Yeah, again, it's the retaining wall down there, that concrete pit wall, too. Ooh. He would have just loved that. So, tough break for the pole sitter, dominant car of the evening, a car I thought we were going to see, take the fight back to the field and reclaim the lead, but unfortunately, just got karate chopped into next week.
Well, that put Farmer back up to 6th position, Will.
Yes, indeed. It does. Put Josh Farmer, who probably had the second best car of the evening, back inside a possible race contending position. Just have to wait and see where this is all going to cycle out. Not green-white checkered territory yet, Brian, and not double-digit countered cautions either this week. So a whole heck of a lot better than New Hampshire that I thought we were at Martinsville. But we were not. Yes, exactly. You said Michigan's next week. Wonderful. So
Then a week after that is
Daytona,
right,
you said?
No, yeah. But me and Will would like to thank all you guys coming out, tuning in tonight, chatting with us, watching the race on a Monday late night, shall we say.
Yes, school night. Some places, school has started back.
Yeah. Has school started for you yet?
Well, I mean, my nephews, yes, down here, yes.
There you go.
Thank goodness I no longer have paper routes. One thing I hated, school buses. I didn't mind them. I loved being able to be behind them because I knew when they were going to stop and everything, and I could be like the meat and the sandwich in case there was like a gravel truck or a log truck that just didn't see it one of those foggy mornings, and I just, but I would always, give the school bus a good buffer, right? Everything. because
Uh-huh.
yeah, on these 2-lane highways, man, that they got to stop sometimes in the middle of nowhere on the 2-lane highway and pick up kids. It's like, oh, you're stopping here? Okay. Yeah. Anywho, so lights are out again on that Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra Pace truck. We're going to get a 5-lap shootout here at Richmond. We've seen how crazy shootouts can be in the AMS Cup Series. Green flag waving by Barney the Flagman right now. Mazzella off with a whole shot restart, just like we've seen Greg Elliott already tonight. I'm just saying he's been most dominant.
There's the full send by everybody.
Everybody. Surfing Safari.
Oh, wow.
Surfing Safari into turn 1, Brian, and it was indeed Christopher Walken experience right there of just I'm almost speechless. I have no words here. Sean O'Brien just slings it in 3 wide through the middle, and then 4 wide. Antonio just loses the nose on corner entry and slides down the track, makes contact with everybody, becomes a bowling ball, then becomes bowling pins.
Poor KT trying to mind his business.
Yeah, after being collected in 2 or 3 wrecks already. Yeah, just unfortunate, man. What goes up will come down. In Richmond's case, you will just kind of stay up there for a good moment because of just how sloped the banking is. Here, it's a very sloopy type of banking, Brian, if you will, if that's the better way to describe the Richmond banking. There's not a whole lot of it, but there is enough to make it feel like, it's going to go up there, you're going to slide up, and you're going to have an awkward trajectory, maybe rolling back downhill, right? It's not like Dover, where, what goes up will come down, or Talladega, Daytona, etc., but you can linger up there. Sometimes you just stop up there, but anyway, that's enough of the lingering. We will see the green-white checkers. We will see the overtime. We will see it. So 9th caution of the evening.
Sometimes you think these drivers are actually part of NASCAR.
Yeah, you're like, man. Putting on a terrific show, I must say. We had some good green flag moments, and I don't want to say a typical Richmond race, but a Richmond race that you don't really want to forget, I'd have to say as well. A lot of these drivers are going to want to forget it, but as a fan point of view, put the fan hat on. It seems kind of very rememberable. Is that a word? Anyway, are you sure? So, Farmer was able to gain a position on that restart. That was just a Wacky Racers restart going into turn number 1. Anybody remember that TV show? If you ever saw reruns of it on Boomerang or Cartoon Network or anywhere, the Wacky Racers. My goodness. There's always Dick Dastardly trying to, basically kill everybody so he could win all the different stages. Lights are out. We will be back racing. Like Brian said, want to thank each and every one of you coming out, tuning in, being a part of tonight's stream/race. Just chilling, Green flag. And Mazzella trying to get another whole shot restart as everybody trying to get what they can get. Hopefully this be the final restart of asking, but who knows? Who knows? We have one more attempt, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Kevin trying to gather it up back yonder way. White flag in the air, waving 3 wide coming off the corner. Jason Taylor, Antonio Bonini, and Avery McDonald. Who's going to make it? Oh, Antonio going to break loose, going up into JT. Oh man, coming now. Oh, it's a scramble now. Coming out for turn number 4, though. Looks like Mazzella could win it. And indeed, I believe.
Hey, did Mazzella Cochran Farmer made it back up.
All right.
We gotta go back and watch that white flag. 'Cause I know we missed whatever happened in front of that.
Yeah, I think he pulled a Sleepy Joe and fell asleep at the wheel. Mr. Presenter, producer, director, man, that's okay. Yeah, looking back here, oh man, Avery Gibbs Bonini, I guess, a shot there. That's what happens. And then, oh man, so there was a Johnson was almost in the way here in the final lap, and they were having to try their best to navigate that, but my goodness gracious, what a final couple of laps there. So Farmer, Cochran, and Mazzella. Jonathan here winning the race this evening at Richmond. If I'm not mistaken, Jonathan had shoulder surgery, easy for me to say. I think that was what it was earlier in the year, so this is one heck of a way to come back from having that type of surgery and just have a win.
All right, so we'll get Farmer up here. Farmer,
What up?
how's it
Well,
going?
Oh, it's going good. Just looking at some replays.
yes, sir, Josh. Just a back and forth night. You had an etch-a-sketch night, so to speak, like a handful of other competitors, right? You had, I believe, at least the second best car, if not one of the best cars out here this evening. You led some laps. Like I said, you had a bit of an etch-a-sketch night. Tell us about it, Josh.
Well, I did better when it was hot out. This isn't one of my best tracks, but I probably deserved to finish third. But Greg and Mazzella had the best cars there, so I'm happy with that run. I was expecting to run about 10th, so I was proud of the night.
So, yes, sir, indeed. You and Greg, man, every time you and Greg Elliott get together, it's going to be at least fisticuffs. It looks like barroom brawl. Like, tell us about the contact. It looked like you were trying to go around the outside. He made a just kind of hip checked you.
Well, I wasn't sure what happened there. That's what I wanted to watch on the replay. It just looked like we ended up being 3 wide, and that's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off of turn 4, so
Yeah,
it didn't look like anything malicious, but it was just a racing deal. But I recovered, so no harm, no foul.
Yes, sir. Next week, Michigan. So the 2 mile, 16 degrees of banking, I believe, track there. Michigan. What's the battle plan, Josh?
Well, I'll be off that week. I'm going to have to use
Okay.
provisional, but I'll be looking for. I think it's Darlington the week after, so I do. Oh, is it Daytona after that? Okay,
Yes,
well that would be a good race to get back to going to, but I'm really looking forward to Darlington though.
Okay, 10-4. Well, best of luck to you on your off week, and holler at you at some point there, Josh. Congratulations on the P3 final thought shoutouts.
I appreciate you guys hanging around and doing this for us. Hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir.
You have yourself a good night.
You too.
All right, now Michael Cochran and that 42 driven Sinclair car. Bringing it home P2 after just... Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, you're back
well.
up here again, huh?
It happens every once in a while.
Every blue moon, it,
What a wild race, huh?
Oh, it was a great race. Yeah, definitely wild.
Must have been a full moon tonight, eh?
Oh, yeah.
So, tell us about, like, all the battles, man, that you were having to fight, like, people off with a stick at moments, like you were just in like a swarm of bees out there, you guys look like tonight.
Oh, yeah. It was really maintain track position as much as you can. A lot of blocking. Mm-hmm. You really had to protect the inside. I feel like the lower line was definitely the line to have. Definitely a fun race, though.
But it looked like sometimes people could really roll that outside and just have that, I guess you could say, that outside cushion or that outside momentum off the corner, just get back to the throttle a little bit better.
Like a half lane up, you could roll it around the top a little bit, but I liked the lower side better because I felt like I was saving tires more. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was able to maintain. Comparing to the other drivers, my tires were just a hair bit better, and that's why I was keeping up with them.
Yes, sir, Michael. And how big of an impact do you think, like, dirty air can come into a factor even on a short track here, like Richmond?
Oh, very much so. That's why I would constantly try to pull out to the side and try to get in, just to get out from behind the cars. That way I had a little bit more grip getting around the corner.
Talking about how air will be, playing a factor from not just Richmond, but next week at Michigan. So what's your battle plan, the game plan going next week into Michigan?
Probably going to try to save as much tire as I can. That's usually my MO.
Well, yes, sir. Time crucial next week, just like it was tonight. So final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to say? Congratulations as well, P2.
Thank you. Congratulations to the entire team. Mozilla, Farmer. Good job for all of us. And, of course, shout out to the league for always putting on a great race.
Yes, sir, indeed. You guys got the 1, 2, 3. Always good to see the teammates always finish good with each other. So, best of luck to you next week at Michigan, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again.
All right, thank you, guys. See you then.
Next up, well, Mr. Mazzella. Hey, I don't think we talked to him the last time.
Michael's got a type house.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm trying to go back.
Hey, Michael.
That's John.
Yeah. I'm still half asleep. I'm going to use that excuse. Hey, Jonathan. So, just once you got in that lead, man, you didn't want to give it up. You were just gone on these restarts. You were killer, just knocking them out after you. Like I said, once you got in the lead, wrangled it away from Greg. He got back there in the traffic and couldn't see him no more. So, just tell us about your night from your point of view, Jonathan.
Yeah, I felt fast all night, but I was following Greg all night. And I'll be honest, when I got in the lead, I didn't know what I was doing anymore. So I had to just focus on hitting my marks and not make any mistakes, and it worked out.
Yeah, as we know, you and
I think he cut out there.
I think he did.
No.
There he is.
Hello. All right. Don't know what happened.
Yeah, that first restart, I just smashed the gas in second and hoped it would stick, and it did. So that I knew for the second restart that it was you can go full throttle even on old tires. So got lucky on that one.
And just tell us about trying to time those restarts kind of perfectly to where you're not going to maybe get wheel slippage or how easy it is to do at a place like Richmond here.
Oh yeah, that first restart I tested it and I just dumped it and it took off. So I knew for the second restart I could do the same thing, and it stuck. That's probably what won the race, was that I could still restart, jump out for a lead.
So those couple of final restarts there, closing into the final laps of the race, like what were you thinking there, Jonathan?
Just don't overdrive turn one. It's really easy to do. You're trying to get a gap, and if you miss your mark, you're gonna just slide into the third lane. So I probably braked a little too early that last time and bunched up the field a little bit, but it worked out.
So Michigan next week. What's the battle plan going from Richmond to Michigan?
I'm gonna try to ride this little wave I got of positive vibes and see what I can do at Richmond or at Chicago. It'll be fun.
Yes, wherever we're at.
Wherever we're at, I don't know where we're at either.
Yeah. Yes, it's a scramble sometimes. So, Jonathan, big congratulations to you and your fellow teammates. You know, you guys swept the podium this evening, so big congratulations. Final thoughts, shout-outs before we let you go celebrate this dub?
I appreciate the broadcast. I appreciate AMS, and I like the little team points situation, too. It's actually made another fun part of the race strategy, so I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
You know, like Jonathan just said, you know, team points now in this season and possibly seasons beyond in the AMS Cup Series now. So basically, they probably got max points in a way.
Yeah, I think they take the top 3 or the top 2 and then do the points that way. I can't really remember.
Yes. I believe it's something like that, Brian.
Yes.
As well. So, anyway.
What a wild night. That was a very good
wild,
race.
Great race. You didn't know what to expect. You didn't know if we were going to get some green flag running in from our little stints here and there. We did get some green flag running in. So that was great to see. Action. What more do you want in a Richmond race? And you didn't know what to expect. Love to see it next week at Michigan or wherever we could be at. Is just probably going to be the same. You don't know what to expect from the different strategies that are always going to be afoot. And as always, we'd like to thank each and every one of you coming out, being a part, and just tuning in. And thanks to the drivers coming out and putting on the show. Without them, we wouldn't have a show to put on for the fans. So, Brian Huntley and myself, Will Roberts, that'll do it for us. And until probably, I guess, Wednesday, right? Yes. We will be back at it again, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. So, catch you then. Until then, good night.